Aloha, goddess, and welcome. Today's focus is going to be strengthening and opening the shoulders as well as the core. Before we begin, I just want to share a little aha kind of insight that I received yesterday listening to a mentor of mine talk. And what she was speaking on was embracing change. And this is not something new for you to hear. It wasn't something new for me to hear, but it really does take sometimes hearing a particular message like hundreds of times. And I remember my yoga teachers saying this in the past, like it will sometimes take us at least 10 times to hear something until it clicks. And this was kind of like what happened to me yesterday, hearing her speak on, in the way that she had presented it, it was that we must befriend change if we are to ever truly experience like authentic joy throughout our life. The only way to really be happy, genuinely happy in our lives on a day-to-day basis is for us to befriend change. And that just like really spoke to me, because I'll tell you the truth is that I can wrestle change at times. If something isn't going my way, let's just take like technology, for example, right? Let's say my internet connection goes out and I'm working on something, my internet connection goes out, or pages aren't opening as fast as I want them to, right? So I have this concept or this expectation in my head. And if things aren't going exactly to plan with that, the internet goes out, time's out, it's slowing down. Oh, that can push my buttons and really get me aggravated, hence robbing me of my joy and robbing me of the blessings of the magic and the miracles that are absolutely present in such a generous form for us to receive in now. How can I personally create an intimate, playful dance with change and to be open to the experience of change in every moment so that I do not give away this blessing of joy and peace that God has bestowed upon us for our lives. So just wanted you to kind of take that in with me this moment. I wanted it this morning or this evening, whatever it may be for you. And I hope that there was some insight there for you as well. So let's go ahead and come to our mats. Standing with your feet parallel, about hip distance apart. Let your shoulders relax down at your sides and enjoy a few deep breaths. With each inhalation, feel the breath rise up from within you. And with each exhalation, feel the breath move out and the body soften and settling. So even in this moment, we can experience this pulsation of fluidity, this pulsation that shifts and changes the form of our being in every moment. Can you feel into that change? That expansion and contraction with a sense of wonderment and awe here. Now let's go ahead and begin to dance with this form. As you inhale, wait for the energy of the in-breath and then lift the arms up, extending down through the legs and up through the arms. Wait for that exhalation and release. So the invitation here is to dance with change. Feel into that as you breathe and move the arms. Not resisting the moment, not resisting what arises. But allowing ourselves to ride the wave of that energy. Interlace the hands overhead here. Lean off to your right, keeping both feet grounded and heavy. Hug the arms into the head. Keep that embrace. Inhale, rise tall. Keep the lift through the rib cage as you reach over to the other side. Now just take notice, have the knees hyperextended. If so, create a little softness there. Up and over now, moving with your own breath. Wait for the breath. Follow that rhythm as your own inner declaration. Your own inner yes. That we choose to align more fully, to change, so that we can dance with life creatively and ultimately experience this blessing with greater joy. Let's go ahead now, circling those arms. Let the breath continue to flow. No holding back there. Let the breath move generously. So, I am open, breathing in. I stay open to the magic and the miracles that God has in store for my life. I stay open to that. Inhale, interlace the hands, press the palms facing up towards the sky. Drop the tailbone down, anchor through the feet. Release the shoulders down the back. Now with an inhale, lift the heart, reach through the arms. And as you exhale, we're going to take the right arm under the left, coming into eagle arms. Now, eagle arms just may not be there for you today, right? Our body feels a little different than it did a week ago, possibly a decade ago for sure. Go ahead, and if this feels too intense, just take a nice embrace here. And just over time, start to bring those fingertips more towards each other. We're just wanting to create this nice expression of expansion through the back of the heart. Breathe into that as you lift your ribs. Exhale, release. And just shake it out a little bit here. There can be this sense of like, just like softening and kind of sweetness as we just kind of acknowledge that, yeah, I'm going to feel different than I did a decade ago. And I'm going to feel a little different than I did yesterday, even possibly. Go ahead and twist with me here now in space, keeping those knees soft. Breathe deep. So how can we greet and meet ourselves right where we are at today? And softening. Inhale, stretch the arms up. This time, left arm under right, either for a hug or eagle arms. Now, if you are in eagle arms, we're going to press the palms towards each other into one another. Let's anchor down through the tailbone. You'll feel that belly tone and lift gently as that tailbone drops. And then with an inhale, lift the ribcage, lift the heart, even lift the gaze here. Nicely done. And exhale. Release. Go ahead and shake with me here. Few little hops, just flicking out through the fingertips. Nicely done. We're gonna open the feet, toes out. I've got the timer on for 50 seconds. Now, if you need to extend the legs during that time, if you need to just rest during that time, take what you need and come back as soon as you can. Here we go. Inhale, arms up. Keep going with that breath. So there is a powerful exhalation as the humerus bones, your upper arm bones, come down and make contact with the lifted, buoyant rib cage. And as those humerus bones tap the ribs, you can even envision stagnation leaving the body. And every time the arms reach overhead, amplifying the light space that draws in. Let's rise up. Hands out here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. The legs could be straight here. Absolutely. So if those legs are feeling fatigued, no need to bring them into the equation. The focus today is the shoulders and the core. In, out, in, out, in, out. Now connect to that breath. Feel the energy of the pulsation of the breath coming in and out. Keep going. Relax the shoulders away from the ears here. Really let those shoulder blades move down the back. Keep your heart space lifted and full. And reach from the heart now out through the fingers as you rise up. And exhale, release. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. And just take your time here. We're just settling into down dog for this round, okay? So if anytime you need to come back to your knees and reset it up. In down dog, there's enough space between the hands and the feet that you feel both steady and open. So if you feel a little too contracted, if the breath isn't moving freely, try walking your feet back. But if you feel like it's real hard for you to hold yourself up, maybe you're too extended, you try bringing your feet in. So just play with that stance. And then wag your tail here. Really try to get a nice lift through the butt bones. Great job. Come down to your knees. You can point the toes and have a seat on the knees. If this is excruciating, come on up here, okay? We are taking the hands out and pulling in. Keep going with this breath. And as you do, envision the breath, creating this energy of triumphant rising up expression within you. A triumphantly rising energy permeating through the body with your intention, with each effort. And release. Nicely done. We're going to meet in plank pose. Now, if the wrists don't love this pose, no problem. You can bend the knees to get some weight off of the wrist. You can even straight up come to the forearms, okay? So we do have some options here. Regardless if you're on the forearms or the hands or even the knees, I want you to feel into the body here. Take the tailbone down, feel the low belly draw up. And begin to, in your best ability, to create a line, a plank line from your shoulders to your knees. So the butt's not high and the butt's not sagging. Find that nice solid line. Soften the heart, soften the face, and come on down to the knees. Excellent. We're going to take that on the sides. So let's take the right elbow to the floor, parallel to the short edge of your sticky mat. And we're going to come on up. Now this could start to get intense. So if that happens, I want you to prop your front foot in front of you, bend your bottom knee, and then bring that top foot back. Okay. And I'll hold here with you on this first round. I'm already feeling the underside of my core, the obliques, activating, turning on. Go ahead now and pull the sides of the waistline towards the back of the room. And then with an inhale, lift your heart towards your face. Now feel with the body strong and steadfast. Feel the fluidity of your breath here. Yeah, baby, let's take side two. Right, or for you, left forearm, parallel to the short edge of the sticky mat, and come on. If this is intense, go ahead and just position your front foot forward so you can bend the bottom knee. And then with that bottom knee supporting you here, go ahead and take that top foot back to a centered position. Now, just like we were focused on being straight through the spine, in plank pose, same thing here. We don't want the booty back, and we don't want to kind of be sunken forward, but instead envision a beam of light coming through the crown of your head, through the central channel of the body, out through the tailbone, helping to create this luminosity through your center. Stay connected to that as you breathe here. And release. Okay, you guys, my timer wasn't working on it, and I think we might have gone a little extra on that side. Now coming into downward facing dog, we're going to pulsate between down dog and plank pose. During the sequence, if you find it necessary to move your feet forward and back, no problem at all. Really staying mindful of keeping those arms straight and strong. Let's meet in down dog. And as you exhale, come forward into plank pose, shoulders over the wrist. Squeeze here, really engage the musculature of the arms, legs, and core. And with an inhale, come back to down dog. Reach back, taking the sit bones back, push down through the hands. And let's pulsate, exhale, plank. Inhale, dog. Follow your breath. Again, as a way for us to encourage ourselves to stay open to change and to move fluidity with the change that happens in our life. Nicely done. We are going to come back to form, plank right forearm down. Lift the heart here and then lift the hips. Okay, so you already know the modification of lowering that bottom knee if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to stay steady here. Regardless of your variation, go ahead now and engage the glutes. As you do that, you'll feel those hip flexors open. Keep the glutes engaged. Activate the musculature of the legs as well if they're not already, so that if you were to tap them, they feel firm. They feel like they're participating enthusiastically alongside of you. Keep the head in a neutral position. So try not to let that head drop or lean forward. Take another deep breath here. You got this, goddess. You got this. Releasing to side two. With the shoulder blade on the back. Come on up. So just taking your time, transitioning, finding that line of luminosity from the crown of your head through the central channel down your tailbone. Keeping that illuminance radiating out in all directions now. Engage the glutes. Lift the hips a little bit more away from the floor. And go ahead, firm the musculature of the legs and the arms onto the bones. Create this firmness with an intention of just embracing yourself fully in this moment now, meeting yourself right where you're at. Ooh. And if we can do that in a challenging circumstance, you can consider yourself quite masterful there. Let's go ahead now. Down dog plank. Exhaling to down dog. Now, let's see. Exhaling to plank. Inhaling to down dog. Following the breath, letting the breath lead the movement for you here. So the inhale leads the movement to down dog. Wait for it. The exhale opens up the permission to move into plank. Nicely done. One more time here in our side plank variation. So forearm parallel to that little sticky edge. Come on up. The bottom knee can be on the floor. Wherever you are today is where you are today. So see if you can just make the most out of this moment without having this moment be attached to any other moment, any other decade. Come on, baby, dig deep. Your best in this moment, big breath. Woo! Side two. Come on up. It is extraordinary to consider how many times we've robbed ourselves of our own joy of progress, robbing ourselves of the opportunity to celebrate the progress that we're making on a daily basis because we're so concerned about getting to somewhere way beyond. If you are still in the game, baby, if you are still here watching and hearing my voice in this moment, you are still in the game. You got something to celebrate in, baby. Woo! Nicely done. Have a seat, cross-legged. We're going to actually go back into down dog, and I want to give you one more variation. In this downward facing dog, you can stay right where we were, meaning both hands and both feet stay on the ground. If you want to make it a little more challenging, every time you go back into down dog, you're going to just lift off one hand and place that hand on the thigh. And then as you come back to plank, that hand will come back to the floor. You will alternate arms. If that feels vulnerable, if it feels like you might hurt your shoulders, keep both hands on the floor. It's an extraordinary exercise as is. Embrace where you are in this moment and encourage yourself each and every breath. Here we go. Down dog, plank pose. If you want to take one hand to that back knee and transition, swapping sides as we go. There's an invitation for that for you. Regardless of the variation, can you feel into the strength of the shoulders? How blessed are we to experience this kind of mobility, this kind of potential and possibility? How blessed are we to go upside down? Nicely done. And coming on down to the knees, we will take a seated crisscross stance. So without any hand weights at all, we've worked the shoulders in a capacity. I can definitely feel that my shoulders have worked. We've worked the obliques, we've worked the rectus abdominis, we've come into the core in a great way. We're going to go ahead and work with, we've also done quite a bit of breathing, of which we're going to continue with here. Taking the fingertips to the front of the shoulders, we're aiming for a straight line from elbow to heart through the opposite elbow. So we're not wanting to be here or here at any time. We're inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right. The breath is potent, it is powerful, and it is in and out through the nose. Here we go. Keep going. Keep going here with a soft gaze. I just want to offer up a variation. If sitting down on the floor is excruciating for your back and hips, there is a possibility that you can always, you could have a chair next to you, and keeping the sit bone grounded upon that chair, and the feet on the floor, you could work this same exercise from a chair. Okay, but if you can't go from the floor, we're going to go ahead and stay right here. Keep going powerfully with the breath. Another 20. 1, 2. Keep going. Open the heart space. Use your imagination and visualize that heart now, radiating open beyond the boundaries of your elbows for 5, 4. As you inhale, come to center with the spine, lift the arms overhead. We're going to hold the breath here. So holding at the height of the inhalation, drop the shoulders down. Exhale slowly out the nose, releasing the arms down into your lap. Relax the shoulders. Take one hand to your belly. Take one hand to your heart. Taking a short moment in time to feel into the rhythm of your breath as an opportunity to slow down and connect to the miracle of who you be in this very moment. Do you see value in being open to change in your life instead of wrestling it or resisting things that arise that we were not expecting? Just the fluctuations of life. If we can stay open and dance with the change that is inevitable, can you see value for that in your life? Go ahead now, come to the knees. Since we did work the front of the core and the sides, we're just going to finish here with coming into the back here to just complete the work with the core. We're going to come onto our knees for the first round, keeping the navel drawing back, so we don't want to be hyperextended there, and we don't want to be rounded, just a nice neutral spine. As you inhale, take the left leg back, the right arm forward, squeeze the glutes, spread the toes, and come on back. Opposite hand and opposite arm now. Inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. Engage the musculature of the arms and legs onto the bones and come on back. Now move alongside of the breath. Wait for the inhale and then extend through the extremities. Reach beyond the toes and the fingers. And exhale, come on back, keeping the core strong. Inhale, move with the breath. Open it up. Back heel reaching for the wall behind you, fingertips reaching for the wall in front. And as the exhale moves, go ahead, follow that energy and come back to all fours. Side to side now on your own. Inhale, open. Exhale, return to center. Switch sides. Just take a moment to notice where your noggin is in space. The head is neutral here. The head is an extension of the spine. So the chin is not touching the chest. The focus is not too far out in front of you. At very most, we're gazing towards the top of the mat. One more time on each side now. Move with the breath. And release. Other side. And exhale, release. This time sitting with the toes curled under. Have a seat here on the heels. If this is excruciating, go ahead and come on up here. And do try to keep those toes curled though. I want to just get a little bit of mobility there in the feet. Not a main focus of the day, but these feet support us profoundly in living a life in joy, in freedom. And so just giving a little bit of extra attention there now. We're going to go ahead. If the variation we did on our knees is the best variation for you, you can again return there. Otherwise, we're going to take the same concept from our belly. Okay, arms out in front, spine neutral. Inhale, left leg up, right arm up. Come on, goddess, go for it. Rise to your fullest potential here. And then as you come down, stretch through your limbs like you're trying to reach into the energy of space that's beyond the boundary of your skin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach into the energy of space beyond the boundary of your skin. Keep playing with that expression of full, open capacity through yourself, through your senses, through your actions, staying open as you rise, staying open as you release. Come on up, keep your back leg strong. So squeeze the musculature of the quad. Exhale down. Switch sides. Front of the thigh musculature turned on here. That'll help keep the back leg straight. Come on down. We've got one more on each side. Stay with me. Come on. Stay with me here. Rise on up. Exhale, release. Other side. Inhale, rise. Oh, yeah. Exhale, release. We're going to draw up and push it back to a child's pose here. Just spreading open through the low back. Settle in here. Allow yourself to relax and release. And having a seat either on the shins or crisscrossed. Let's go ahead and take the right ear to the right shoulder. Chin to heart. Left ear to left shoulder. Little half moon circles through the front plane. Keep your ribs lifted. Keep the heart space full. Go ahead now, relax the jaw. One more time to each side. Finishing with the chin at your heart. Lift the head up. Let's take a few shoulder rolls. And we will finish with one quote that I pulled off the internet yesterday. I saw it in two different places, and one says it was an unknown author, and the other one did say it was Jim Rohn. So I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure if it was him or not. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Oh, take that in for a moment. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. Taking one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Remembering, acknowledging the resilience that resides within you now. A potent ability for you to shape shift in the moment, to become like water and move with the circumstances and the spontaneity and unexpectedness that life delivers us. And embracing the truth that change is what helps us grow. May we embrace it with a smile on our face. May we, when we forget, may we simply remember. Thank you, ladies. What an honor and a pleasure. Namaste.